Here we go, on to our next part. So next up is the vocoder. This part here, the mouth or whatever you want to call it. Now for me, I like to use a filbert brush. I believe it's called a filbert brush. That's what I googled because somebody told me that's what it was. These are actually new, so I'm not sure if this size is correct. This is a 7. And the reason I use these is when you look at the pictures of the originals, the vocoder is sort of, it has rounded tops. In fact, I can already see that's a bit too wide. So let me try another size down. Let's actually try a 5. Let's try a 5. But when you look at the originals, you'll see that the top of each part of the vocoder is sort of rounded. And that I find is nice with these brushes because it kind of sits quite round anyway. Now the exact helmet that I'm going for, the exact Trooper, has what I like to call a fuller vocoder, which is basically meaning that the bars come up more. Show a photo of that. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to start from the right and work my way across. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the same black. This is satin black 85. And as I say, this brush, when you just gently push it, you get that nice rounded shape. So you don't have to sort of sculpt it. You just gently push your brush down, and that's the colour. Sorry, that's not the colour, that's the shape it goes. Now in fairness, this filbert brush is actually maybe a little bit on the pointy side. Now I need to go quite high with this one, and again the pictures will back that up. Each Stormtrooper is different, but generally the stunt Stormtroopers have a fuller vocoder. There's a link that I'll put in the description to that. Over the years I've done loads of things on whitearmor.net, which is the 1st Imperial Stormtrooper detachment. That's the 501st Stormtrooper detachment. And I've done loads of threads on there. One of them is about the different types. Well, thanks to the wonders of technology, my recording device ran out of storage during the previous video. So you saw me painting these first 2 bars of the vocoder, and then the video cut out. So I spent ages talking to myself about the process and didn't realise I wasn't recording. So there we go, that's wonderful. But as I've said in the previous part, I'm using this filbert brush. It's actually a different one now because I've wasted some paint. But essentially what I was saying was the shape of the vocoder lends itself to this sort of brush, because the top of each part of the vocoder, I call them bars because they run down. There's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bars on the vocoder, and commonly on a stunt helmet, which is what this one is, the 2nd and 5th bars, these ones either side of the front 3, on a stunt helmet they're traditionally taller. You'll see in the background actually on the reference photos I've got, heroes tend to be maybe the middle bars stand out on their own because the 2nd and 5th bars are smaller, but on a stunt helmet like this they are generally a bit taller. So what I'm doing now is I'm just doing another coat, because as I say, I've already done one coat which happened off camera because of my storage running out. I'm actually using an iPhone at the moment to record this, so the storage ran out on that. But as I say, this is based on a specific Stormtrooper, one of my favourite photos, and this is the one I'm going for, and that's why these 5 in the middle are very tall. They come up a long way, and that's not always the case in the Stormtrooper world. So it's not always the case. Sometimes they do have a shorter vocoder. They all vary. They were all hand painted. We all know that. but there we go. So that is what I call a fuller vocoder. So I am tempted still to go even higher based on the reference photo that I've got. I'm just not sure if I'm brave enough, but that is coming on nicely. Just spotted a bit there that I've missed. Didn't quite get into that gap. There we go. And the vocoder paint is running under there, which will come along to the S trim. Just look at a previous helmet that I've done. Oh, do I go taller? Do I go taller? Yes, Dan. Do it. Do it, Dan. Okay, I think that's going to do me. That's going to do me on that. Move on to the tiers. So from memory there are normally 7 tiers. I'm going to go back here for my reference photos. Yeah, there we go. So we've got 7 stripes. And they run parallel to the first black line. That, unfortunately, was way too thick. Just too much paint on the brush, sadly. There we are, certainly not perfect. I will tidy that up after they're dry. go, that was a bit of a quiet video while I was concentrating away, but you can see now, so we've got the second coat on the vocoder, which is looking nice, and now that it is drying it does have that satin finish, and then also the vertical lines in the tiers. As I say, this very first one here, sadly it's a brand new brush and there was just far too much paint on the brush itself, so it's too thick. So what I'll do afterwards is I'll go back to that with the grey paint, and I will basically then just tidy that up slightly. But there we go, that's kind of that for now. Just gonna, they should be a bit more rounded, looking a bit pointy. There we go, gonna leave it there before I do any more damage. Anyway, that's it now. As I say, a bit of an update on the RS Prop Masters stunt helmet. More to come next, where I'll be doing the vertical lines on the back, on the rear traps, these ones down here, and of course after that we'll be fitting the brow trim and doing the tube stripes. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.